I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. During a press briefing on Wednesday, Senator Dick Durbin warned that the recent mass shooting in Buffalo serves as a reminder of the threat posed by violent white supremacists. He touted the Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act, which would ensure that the Justice Department, FBI, and Homeland Security would work together to combat these threats. Here's more from the Illinois Democrat.
Thanks, Chuck. The mass killing in Buffalo last weekend was a tragic reminder of the threat posed by violent white supremacists and other far-right extremists. I first held a hearing on this threat in 2012, 10 years ago, after the massacre by a white supremacist at a Sikh temple in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. In March of last year, in one of the first hearings that I chaired for the Senate Judiciary Committee, following the January 6th attack on the Capitol, FBI Director Christopher Wray testified to our committee under oath that the threat of domestic terrorism is, quote, metastasizing throughout the country. We've seen evidence of that so many places. Sadly, we saw it in Buffalo. The Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act will respond to this threat. It would ensure the Department of Justice, FBI, and Department of Homeland Security works together to better track and respond to this threat. It would establish offices to combat domestic terrorism at the Department of Justice, FBI, and the Department of Homeland Security. And it would require these offices to regularly assess the domestic terrorism threat and focus on the most significant elements. Crucially, it would provide training and resources to assist state, local, and tribal law enforcement in addressing these threats. The bill would establish an interagency task force to combat white supremacist infiltration of the uniformed services and the federal law enforcement, which is also a critical element. The House passed our legislation in the last Congress. Expect to pass it again, maybe even today. It's time to get this bill to the President's desk and signed into law. We have widespread support from the civil rights community, the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights, 31 additional civil rights organizations, and we've worked with our colleagues in the House to work out objections related to ACLU issues. Today I'll be reintroducing an updated version of the bill to match the text the House will consider this evening. My staff will be circulating the updated text today. I encourage everyone in my caucus to co-sponsor the bill. My friends, this is an issue, sadly, that needs to be addressed across America. As we took 9/11 seriously, we need to take this seriously. This is a domestic form of the same terrorism that killed the innocent people in New York City, and now has assaulted them in Buffalo and many other places. Whether it's Pittsburgh, El Paso, you name it, it's a hate crime. We've seen it before in American history. The only thing missing between these organizations and the past are the white robes. But the message is still the same hateful, divisive message that sets off people to do outrageously extreme things and violent things to innocent people across America. It's time for us to take a stand, and I invite the Republicans to join us. Let's make this a bipartisan effort to clean this out of America.
And let me just